cinnamon. Island bakeries, good to the last crumb. Island bakeries, good to the last crumb.
Different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skellek got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. Be sure to stay tuned to Skellek's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skellek's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, and how are we all doing this morning? It is August the 18th, 2025. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. To the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, once again, good morning. To the regional and international diaspora, good morning. Just to remind you, if you're listening to us, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We're being simulcast on TVC, channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just to remind you of our numbers, our local number, 466-0989. Our numbers in the U.S., as I always mention, we have two. The first one, 305-921-4619, or 1-718-285-6984. Quint, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Trying to be plenty better than yesterday.
Okay.
It was a pretty, well, not so rainy like I expected.
Well,
like Saturday, because Saturday was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yesterday it held up. Just the sea was rough.
Yeah.
Because I went for lunch.
Does someone have a phone on or something over there buzzing?
It will be my fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
remember to put it on the little bit of a napkin. It sort of cushions the sound a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'll turn it off for now. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, usually when you get here, you say, and I ask you how you're doing, you say, well, you're trying to be better today than you were yesterday, right? Well, here's something that fits right into that.
I don't care who is doing better than me, because the truth is, I'm not in competition with anyone else. The only person I need to be better than is the person I was yesterday. Last year, I was different. I've grown, improved, and learned a lot. That's what really matters. It's me versus me. Every day, I wake up ready to push myself further, to challenge my limits, and become the best version of myself. I don't let other people's success make me feel small. Their journey is theirs, and mine is mine.
Yeah, brief and to the point. So you don't have a wrong concept. Your concept is right on the ball.
I always try to make sure of that.
Yeah, you try to be better today than you were yesterday, because your only real competition is yourself.
Exactly, and I say that all the time. And today at 8:15, we'll be having a few members from our St. Kitts and Nevis Youth Parliament, and they will be letting us know what is happening over on their end, because as I always say, these are our future prime ministers and or Minister of Tourism or Minister of Finance, etc., etc. So,
Are you sure they all want to go into politics?
well, they're starting now.
Maybe some of them.
Yeah, they're
are,
junior in those areas. So,
not all of them.
remember, we are going to get old, and they're going to be the ones over us.
Well,
So-
I'm already old. You're going to get old.
Oh boy.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shuffle things over. I'm gonna take a bit of a commercial break, and you're gonna take your usual seat. You're gonna let the lady go and sit where you are, and the others will juggle their seats. Okay?
All right, no
So
problem.
we'll do that.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Build strong, grow together. Let Hartsford's building and Nevis centers lead the way. From tools to materials, we've got it every day. Hartsford's building and Nevis centers, a name you can trust. For every dream protect, don't go and build with us. Dream with us, grow with us, build with us today. Hartsford's is the partner that helps you pave the way.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Get ready to build, save, and celebrate. It's the Builders Paradise Culturama Weekend Sales Event. 3 days only, July 31st to August 1st. That's right, for one epic weekend. Take 25% off store-wide on all discountable items. From power tools to paint, tiles to timber, plumbing to finishes. Everyday low prices just got even lower. Don't miss your chance to stock up, step up, and save big this Culturama. Visit Builders Paradise at the Industrial Site Bastille. Call 869-466-4938 for more info. Builders Paradise. Build more. Spend less. Everyday low prices goes lower for Culturama.
This Culturama Culturama. It's time to celebrate culture, celebrate savings, celebrate at Hosford's. Hosford's Culturama sales event runs from July 31st to August 1st. 3 days only. Enjoy 25% off all discountable items store-wide at Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers, Hosford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, Hosford's Automotive Accessories and Spares, and Builder's Paradise. And that's not all. Get double cash back at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Whether you're upgrading, renovating, or just ready to save, celebrate big this Culturama the Hosford's way. July 31st to August 1st. 3 days only. Only at Hosford's. Everything you need under one roof. Terms and conditions apply. For Culturama to Independence, it's your time to ride in style and save all the while with Hosford's Automotive. Get up to $8,500 off on all models. No down payment, free bill of sale, 12 months of free servicing, or choose up to $1,000 in free groceries or free gas, your choice. And it doesn't stop there. Get free registration, licensing, tinting, and accessories. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a growing family, or just ready for an upgrade, this is your moment. Hurry in to Hosford's Automotive, St. Kitts and Nevis, and ride in style. Save all the while. Terms and conditions apply.
Buster! We run things, things are on we. Buster! Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste, Buster, bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster, live in full color.
Buster!
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators. Repairs are fast, easy, and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and as mentioned before, we have in studio with us some young future leaders, and I'm not gonna worry with Quint. I'm gonna say they're gonna be our future prime ministers and everything else, because that's the junior role they've taken up so far. So in studio with us, we have Hassani McDonald. He's the president of Sniper. We have Akwanje Robinson. He's the PRO of Sniper. We have Jessica Zuta. She is the president of NIABA, and Jawan Jackson, a member of NIABA. So good morning to all 4 of you. Welcome to the studios. And I think today's topic is the work and visit of the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda. So who's going to take it away first? Will it be you, sir?
I can.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hassani McDonald. I'm the president of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association, and I'm joined here with the persons who Cortencia would have mentioned. As she stated, we have an official working visit with our sister association from Antigua and Barbuda, that is the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda. We are joining together. We have joined together as a part of the Eastern Caribbean Youth Parliament Network to join forces as we advocate on issues affecting youth and young persons.
Okay, so what are some of the issues that we will discuss as it pertains to that?
Well, this specific visit, we will be focusing on sustainability and transforming St. Kitts, of course, into a sustainable island state. And we know that Antigua and Barbuda and some of the other countries within the region, they have a similar agenda or mantra, and so we will be discussing that, asking for heightened activities as it relates to better sustainable practices and things of that nature.
Okay, so when would these discussions begin?
Well, tomorrow actually is the highlight of the official visit, where we will be having a youth parliament sitting.
Okay.
So it's a mock parliament sitting. You will see myself acting as prime minister. And you will see Miss Zuto. She will introduce herself soon and let you know that she'll be the leader of the opposition. So we're rifling.
Okay, so Ms. Zuta, tell me what will be your part tomorrow, and how will you come ready to oppose this kind future Prime Minister right here?
So good morning to all who are listening. I am Jessica Zuta, the president of the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda. As Hassani would have rightfully said, I will be acting as the leader of the opposition tomorrow. As it relates to your question about how we intend to oppose, I think I have to mention that we have this notion in the Caribbean where we think that the opposition is just there to oppose, to oppose, to oppose. Okay. But the opposition is not necessarily there to oppose. The opposition is there to ensure that whatever is being discussed is done effectively. So if there are any gaps, if there is anything that necessarily needs to be opposed, they do that. But if it does not need to be opposed, if it is a good idea, then it is, okay, how do we ensure that this is the best that it could be before we pass the legislation? So without giving too much away before, because I know Kwanje is sitting down very keenly listening to what I'm about to say, so he can take his little points down. I think the resolution itself was tabled between both the St. Kitts Youth Parliament and the Antigua Youth Parliament, and we came up with the idea together and fleshed out the resolution. So it's not necessarily something that needs opposition, but there are things that would need to be strengthened, and those are the things that we will be highlighting as part of the opposition.
Okay, and the items that need to be strengthened, do you think it's something that our current government can use or put into practice once you would have had your mock parliament?
I definitely think that the government in both islands do listen and should take the recommendations. Whenever we have youth parliament sittings in Antigua, we're very fortunate that they listen, because it's quite ironic. We may discuss a topic this week. Mm-hmm. By next week, you see an article say that the government is going to implement X, Y, and Z, which is the exact same thing that we would have talked about in Parliament the week prior. And so it's good to see that the information, the discussion, the advocacy is not necessarily falling on deaf ears. Even if they don't give the credit where it is due, at least, change is being made. And that's what's important, because that is what we are trying to do, ensure that the issues are highlighted and change is made.
Okay. So Akwanje, what is your role tomorrow in the mock parliament?
So good morning, everyone. My name is Akwanje Robinson, and I serve as the Public Relations Officer of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association. And my role tomorrow, as Jessica would have hinted to, is to move the resolution. So although Hassani is the Prime Minister, my role is to put the resolution forward in Parliament and stand against the leader of the opposition, Jessica. And I can appreciate the fact that Jessica mentioned that the opposition is not solely to oppose, but to ensure that the legislation is, duly revised. So my role is to my role is to champion that mandate in Parliament, along with my cabinet colleagues and along with my parliamentary colleagues.
Okay. Ooh. And Joanne, your role tomorrow in Parliament?
My role, well,
First off, I should say welcome to St. Kitts, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to say good morning to the listening, viewing audience, both here in St. Kitts and back home in Antigua and Barbuda. My role in this debate, I will be on the opposition bench, so I'm happy that I had that privilege, because, as President Zuta would have indicated, the role of the opposition is to ensure that what is presented before the House is fit for the people and ensure that we hold the government accountable. So it's not always, you have to attack. Because in this instance, I actually support the resolution, as they will come to learn tomorrow. Okay. But there are a few key refinements that can be made.
Okay, so I want to ask, you are going to be pretending to be the Prime Minister. Do you see...
Not pretending.
Okay, he's not acting in the role. Okay, he's acting in the role of the... But I'm trying to say he's not there yet. I'm going to ask. Yeah. Okay, so do you intend in the future to be the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis?
Within the past few weeks, I've been getting that question about my aspirations for political desire or political desire, sorry. And I tell persons within who I have responded to that, I don't think in St. Nevis you set out to become a parliamentarian or a member of government. I think as time progresses and you are able to deliver particular success for a particular party, then you are approached and you're asked to be a part of a team. But what I can say is that the passion for policy and development of policy remains a passion of mine, and so if that steers me in that direction, then and the stars align, then who knows?
Okay, so Jessica, do you intend to take over from Uncle Gatsby?
It's funny. I think it was Joanne who introduced me to someone yesterday, and he said, "Oh no, we were taking a photo. We went on a nice little St. Kitts trip yesterday, and a tour, St. Kitts tour, and we took a photo, and he was like, now you can say that you've met the first female Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda." But I laughed because I think one of the biggest misconceptions person have when it comes to the youth parliaments is that the people in youth parliament all are aspiring politicians.
Okay, that's me.
And as I said, it's a big misconception.
Yeah, understood.
It tends to have persons shy away from joining youth parliament, from being affiliated with the youth parliament, because they see it as something that is political. The youth parliament is not a political group, it's a non-partisan group. And I like to say that I am the prime example of it is not solely for aspiring politicians. I'm an open-minded individual, but as it stands right now, I don't have political aspirations. I am an attorney at law by profession, and so legislation and policy making is, like Hassani, a passion of mine. So that will always be something that is important to me. But party politics in and of itself, I'm not sure that that is something that I see in my future. But again, I am open-minded. But for right now, it is not necessarily something that I see in my future. Okay. So Prime Minister, first female Prime Minister, no, I don't know about that. What do you say, the cards are still out on that one?
And I think as it stands now as well, we get to focus solely on policy and not, what the party politics comes with, all of that. I don't think I need to specify it. But so we get to do it, as Jessica said, not necessarily opposing for opposing sake, but we get to enjoy the whole refinement process, like the government, we who act as government, we get to propose a piece of legislation or even a resolution, and then we have our colleagues who are able to respectfully refine and offer suggestions so that we can then bring something, as Joanne would have mentioned, for the people that is well fitting, well balanced, steeped within the research and things of that nature. So I think we are enjoying that aspect. And we do it so well, some persons think like, okay, they definitely want to go into politics.
I think if I can just add a little bit to what Hassani has just said, I think it is so important that we're doing the work that we're doing without political involvement, because it allows the young persons who are the future and who do have the bright ideas to be able to actually sit down and assess things and come up with proper solutions without having to think about any sort of political pressure. The SCNIPE as well as the National Youth Parliament of Antigua and Barbuda were NGOs. And so we're not under the government, we're not under any political influence, we're non-partisan. And so that then allows the work itself to be unbiased and to be, well, really the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty much like the most reliable work and sort of structured and put together work.
Impartial.
Impartial is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So Akwan, Jay, and Joanne, same sentiments?
Definitely. And I share the same. Okay. I share the same sentiments as Jessica and Hassani, and I want to put a plug in the role of SCNIPE. Sorry, many persons like yourself have the notion that SCNIPE is just to groom young parliamentarians, and it's just all about politics and and the like. But SCNIPE is really a holistic group. We're not just about parliament, we're about nation building and equality and justice in that regard. So a lot of the activities we do surround that interest when it comes to community development and getting into the communities. We're not just stuck in our secretariat, in our parliamentary chambers. We get out into communities and actually promote the interests of young people when it comes to advocacy and projects and just so many different things that we often overextend ourselves and so
I think it's our success rate. A lot of persons who have passed through our association, they have risen to become MPs, and so persons naturally think that this is clearly the stamping ground, the early phases of it.
Because it empowers you.
Yes.
It empowers you.
But I think you can't, I'm so sorry. I think you can't deny, though, although we are saying that it's not solely for politicians, I think you cannot deny the fact that there are persons who have political aspirations, who use the youth parliament to sort of understand the political landscape of different islands. And the youth parliaments are also for personal development, like different training sessions that we do are to help you in your development as a young person going into young adulthood. Whether you utilize it to be a politician, whether you utilize that to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a teller, anything that you decide to do, it is really for your personal growth. But because of the fact that we do have an agenda that speaks to political education, you do have persons who utilize the youth parliament as a way to sort of understand it and then develop into that, which is perfectly fine. But it's just not everybody.
Let's go. All right. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. Your question is for the members of the St. Kitts and Antigua Youth Parliament. We have to, however, remind you that you must be brief. So go ahead.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you and the guest there. I'm assuming that these young folks are following the politics in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we saw that there was a bill that was passed in the House last week, Monday, I think that was, the special sustainability zone authorization bill 2025, and it's been a lot of kickback on that bill. It's the most kickbacks I've ever probably seen, and people have been voicing their opinions on the top shows. Up until yesterday, I was on there. Well, actually Saturday, up to Saturday, there was a talk show from the Nevis side that I was, following. And I just got to get these youngsters take. We can't let these youngsters get off the air this morning without asking them about what has been happening in St. Kitts and Nevis in terms of that specific bill in the last week or whatever that was, since they passed that bill. I think that was last week Monday. I stand corrected on that, but I think that was last week Monday. So let me get this young folks' individual take if we can. Thanks, and I'll leave it there.
All right.
So he mentioned a bill on sustainability, and I think Akwanje would shed some light as it relates to the progress of the implementation of different policies. However, I think that sustainability, a lot of persons see it as a new idea. And so naturally with anything new that you're introducing, there needs to be widespread awareness and education, mass education, so that persons understand the importance of what is being introduced. And so I think that's also what we are doing, using our platforms to do as well. Spread awareness and educate persons about the importance of why we need to improve our practices sustainably. But I'll allow Akwanje to mention briefly as it relates to the progress of the implementation, the specific bans. I know persons been complaining about the forks, but the ban on plastic forks and plastic t-shirt bags and things of styrofoam, etc. Persons are not taking too well to that. So I think it just really needs education and to build awareness, and I think that's what we need to do, especially as youth leaders and persons who deal with advocacy.
Okay.
So to respond, So to directly respond to to directly respond to the caller, I saw the bill, but I haven't read into it as yet, so I prefer not to give my take as it would come from an uninformed place. But to respond to Hassani as it relates to the implementation of our policies surrounding sustainable development, as we know, we are hearing the buzzword a lot, SESA, the Sustainable Island State Agenda, and it's really a vision that intends to transport us as St. Kitts and Nevis into an era of sustainable development towards 2040. And the notion shouldn't be that 2040 is when things begin, is when things come together. So the different policies that are laying the groundwork now include the recently passed Plastic Waste Reduction and Environmental Protection Act, Plastic Waste Protection Act, the Reduction of Single-Use Plastic Act, sorry. And it's really important for me to know that policy is important, but it's also behavior. You know, we complain about policy, but it's important for us as people, not just as young people, but as people in general, to share our voices, you know, attend the stakeholder consultations, keep agitating the media, share your voices to the government towards its inclusion in policy. But it's also important for us to hold ourselves accountable and carry out the laws that are necessary for our survival as island nations facing this triple planetary crisis.
Alrighty. So we're out of time. I wish we had more time because I haven't gotten to speak to Joanne as much as I want to, but I guess the next time you come. But thank you to Hassani. Well, I should start with the lady first. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Hassani. Thank you, Konje. And thank you, Joanne. And what time does the sitting start tomorrow? So persons can tune in?
9 a.m. sharp.
9 a.m. sharp. And we know when they say sharp, they mean sharp. Yes. Okay, so thank you for schooling me. But when I get old and one of you become my representative, I remind you, okay? Yes. So have a great day to all, and thank you for coming in and educating us.
You found the sound. 98.9 Win FM.
St. Kitts and neighbors, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher. Pay your bill in full. Sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Hey, have you heard about the water shortage in our area?
Yeah, it's pretty serious. I've been trying to conserve water as much as possible.
Me too. I've started taking shorter showers and turning off the faucet when I brush my teeth.
Well, that's great. Another way to save water is to fix any leaks in your house.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. How much water can a leak waste?
A small leak can waste up to 20 gallons of water daily, which can really add up over time.
Wow, that's a lot. And have to check for any leaks in my house.
But another good tip is to only run your dishwasher and washing machine when they're full to save water and energy.
I'll keep that in mind. It's important that we all do our part to conserve water, especially during this shortage.
Absolutely. Every drop counts.
This message was brought to you by the St. Kitts Water Services Department. Learn more at water.gov.kn.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that it's greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends drink up. You know that we like man. Signal the bartender. No, we don't need chaser. But if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I say. Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
The importance of co-parenting. Every child has the right to bond with the parents that gave them life. Children are happiest when they can freely communicate and enjoy the time, talents, and lessons that each parent brings to the relationship.
We make co-parenting difficult when we focus on differences rather than what is in the best interest of our children. Parents, your relationship with each other should never affect the relationship you have with your child. Celebrate your children together. They deserve your best. A message brought to you by the Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. Contact us at 467-1311 or 662-6833 for more information.
Let's stop child sexual abuse. The age of consent is 16, yet our 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10-year-olds are becoming victims of sexual abuse and exploitation, which is being forced into sexual activity before they are old enough to decide. This causes mental, emotional, and physical harm to our children. Parents, it is your responsibility to protect and to educate your children. Develop a relationship of trust with your child. If they trust you, they will tell you. Child sexual abuse cannot be our norm. We must work together to correct this. Help us prevent, help us protect, help us prosecute. A message by the Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. Contact us at 467-1311 or 662-6833 for more information.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and it's at that time, it's time for Traffic Talk. And our topic for today is the roles of the police at traffic accident scenes and the roles of the persons involved in traffic accidents. I was just saying to myself while I was doing dishes last night, I haven't heard of any accidents, so is my intuition... Oh gosh. See, Constable Bell done laughing at me, so that means they had accidents.
Yes, yesterday they had an accident to the top of the road there by Baker's Corner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So just 2 vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nobody got hurt.
I didn't work over the weekend, so
oh, bless your soul.
I cannot tell you how much accidents happen.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, Constable Bell here. As Cartentia stated, the topic today is mainly to educate the public what are the roles of the police and what are their roles, because some people misunderstand what's the roles of the police, especially. They feel like the police is responsible to making sure whoever pay them and stuff like that. So we just kind of clear up the air. Firstly, as a traffic accident investigator, when you arrive at the scene, the first thing you should do is ensure that everyone is safe. Ensure if they need medical or fire and rescue assistance, you get that out of the way before you even try to record any statements or anything like that. You have to ensure that the persons are safe. Okay? If they need medical assistance, we call for the ambulance. If it's a serious accident where the person is trapped inside, gas might have run out of the vehicle, even though there's not a fire. Once the gas or anything flammable, runs out of the vehicle, we call the fire and rescue, service, so they avoid anything sparking off or anything like that. After you secure the scene, everyone is transported either to the hospital or the ambulance, clear them, say that they're okay to stay at the scene. Whoever is trapped is extracted, depending on the type of what area it is. For example, if there's an accident, let's say in Lodge, that road is a one road. No vehicles can go no other direction.
Yeah.
Instead of having that traffic blocked up for a lengthy period, once it's nothing of a nature of somebody dying or something like that, where you have to properly examine the scene. You mark out the area, or you take your measurements one time and you try to clear up the traffic. So you solve one problem. After you clear up the traffic, you get the drivers, if they're still at the scene, come together and record explanations. Now, when the officers are recording explanations, we tend to find when we're speaking to one person, the other party walks off, gone on their phone, stuff like that. It's not supposed to be like that. Both persons are supposed to be together, listening. I hear what you're saying, you hear what I'm saying. There won't be any interruption because I cannot tell you what you saw, and you cannot tell me what I saw. So I am giving my opinion as to the cause of the accident, and you would do the same, respectfully. Sometimes we find, I might be speaking, giving the officer my explanation, and the other party would be like, "You're lying," stuff like that. We don't want that, because when you're giving your side of the story, I cannot tell you that you're wrong. That's how you see. I give my opinion. Okay. We find person get a little aggressive. We understand your vehicle is damaged. Everybody takes their property different. I might be calm and cool and say, "Hey, I have life, so I'm okay." So I'm cool and calm. But you might say you spend all your savings to buy this car, now it mash up. So people gonna feel how they feel.
Yeah,
but we want
exactly.
persons to be respectful to one another at the scene. Okay? And we don't want, when I'm recording an explanation from one person, the other party is walking off. Because later down the line, you are going to come and try to retrieve an accident report. And then when you're reading the accident report, because we ensure that you read it before you go with the accident report, you're going to say, "Well, this person telling lies, that ain't so you go." But you wasn't listening at the scene what the person was stating to the police. And that's where you get a lot of back and forth and issues after. So we encourage persons, stay together at the scene of the accident. You don't have to interrupt. You might feel how you feel. You might feel like the person is lying. Because we do find those situations. Persons, they know they're at fault and they try to sugarcoat it to make themselves look good. So, you listen. And then when it's your time to give an explanation, you give your explanation. Okay? We record measurements, as I said, damages. Now, what the officers record are the physical damages that they can see. Sometimes person might come after and say something inside the engine broke, stuff like that. Now, the police may not write it down, but that is for your mechanic to write in their estimate. The police can only write what they see. You have some police officers, I'm not one, to write in their estimate. The police can only write what they see. You have some police officers, I'm not one, so I wouldn't be, I did not do this, I did not do that. You would have your pictures to provide to the insurance. Sometimes the insurance companies come to the accident scene.
Okay.
Yes, and that's what. Also, we encourage person when you get in accidents, report it to the insurance. Whether or not you think that you're liable for the accident, report it to the insurance. Okay? So take the pictures so you have proof. It shouldn't be a problem to the other party if you're taking pictures of the accident, because it's an accident that both of you are involved in. The police will take their pictures for their file, for their case, if they're taking it to the court. Medical forms. Medical forms, person, they may not go to the hospital, but they say, "Hey, I'm feeling pain in the back. I'm feeling pain in the leg. I'm feeling pain in the neck." Now, the officer cannot tell you, "Hey, you're lying." We can't tell you that.
You don't know what's going on in that body.
Even though I may come and assess the accident and say to myself, "Hey, that person can't get that pain because of that." That's not my job.
No.
You complain for pain, I write up a medical form, I give it to you.
So that form sends the person to the hospital?
No, that form is for them to take to the hospital.
Okay.
So who to the hospital, to the private doctor, whoever examined them, have to write and put their findings on that medical form. Now, persons, they take the medical forms, they go to the hospital, they don't return it to the police.
Oh, so you have to bring that form back?
Yes, that form have to come back because now, after the accident and all the investigation is completed, a case file is provided for the court, especially when persons are injured. Okay, sometimes we find persons say, hey, well, I done fix the person's vehicle, how come we have to go to the court? Fixing the person's vehicle, it's just a civil agreement amongst themselves.
Okay.
The traffic accident is now a traffic offense. So whether or not you guys come to mutual agreement, the police can still take that matter before the court.
Okay.
Now, if you go to the court and you explain to the magistrate, hey, I was compensated, I wish no further police action, and it's a simple accident, a simple rear-end or reverse and touch, it's not much damage to say you were reckless or dangerous in any way, then the magistrate may pardon you, convict, caution, or charge you a limited fee. Okay? That decision is not on us. That's for the magistrate. Okay? If
I see here I wanted to explain that the police are not involved in any
compensation. Yes, that's what I was going to just now. Now, as we speak about compensation, now persons, they get in accidents, they go and they get the estimates and they send it to the police officer. No, or they bring it to the station and say, this is for the police to give the person. No. We encourage that you guys exchange contact information, insurance company. They are who are supposed to be advising their clients. Okay? They are who are supposed to be advising their clients. Or, if the person wishes to seek legal advice, they go to their lawyer and they get advice from that person moving forward. They either write to the other party requesting compensation in whatever way they wish, or if that person is willing to compensate the person, they put it in writing and they carry it to their lawyer, the insurance. They give checks or whatever, so they can properly log that, hey, we were compensated. Okay? If I refuse to pay you, the police cannot force me to pay you. If you guys haven't come to any mutual agreement, this is where the court system comes now. And a lot of people feel it's like after the police case, that's when the person is supposed to pay them. No. If I feel like I'm not at fault, the police cannot make me pay you. I need to go through a trial. People need to understand that. Now you go through the trial, the magistrate rules their conviction, whether you're convicted or the police didn't prove the case. Whoever the magistrate convicts have to pay whatever fee to the state. Now that person now has to take their own civil action now, sue that person for their damages. So the criminal part of the case is from the police end to say, hey, you are liable for the accident or you are not liable. If you are liable, then the other party now have to take their legal action against you. Okay? I'm going to be honest, sometimes officers, either they get tied up or they lapse and the accident cases don't go before the court from the police side. However, that doesn't mean your case stays there. As I said, there's a police side and a civil side. So can still sue that person, and the police will have to be summoned to come as a witness to say what they did at the accident scene and give whatever information that they recorded. So the police is not responsible to making Tom pay Harry for his damages. So we just want to get that clear to the public. Now, persons who are involved in the accident now, as we said, we recommend that they exchange contact information. right? You happy? They exchange contact information, insurance, what's not. Now, persons might be in the heat of the moment and they will be like, hey, I don't want his number. I don't want his number. The police don't have his number. But the police is not the one who's going to communicate with you to ask you how you want your compensation. You
Yeah.
have to speak with that person. Even though you don't want to call them, you have their information to give to your lawyer or to give to your insurance company. They will act on your behalf.
Yeah.
Don't just be hype-faced at the moment and don't exchange contact information, and then
Exactly.
later down the line you run into the police. I didn't get his number, I didn't get his insurance. No, don't do that. We understand that people are gonna get in their feelings, yes, but if you want the matter to be resolved, you have to take certain steps. If you feel in pain, you ask for a medical form.
Okay.
You ask for a medical form. The police cannot refuse to give you a medical form.
Okay.
If the police does not have that medical form at hand, he can go back to his station, get that medical form, and produce it to you. Okay? It doesn't have to be immediate, but we recommend that it be immediate. So when that person goes straight to the hospital, if they're in the ambulance, they have that medical form.
Okay.
So every action that they take, everything that they do, every findings, they start writing on that form.
So do they bring back the original form to you, or
Yes.
the original, not
They
a copy?
No, not a copy.
Okay.
They bring back the original form, they sign to the back of it, they sign and date it. We make a photocopy and we give it to them.
Okay.
But the original form is for the case file.
Okay.
Because the documents have to be the original documents.
Okay, got you.
And as we state that, I forgot to mention the main thing, the notice of intended prosecution. Now,
That's what you would issue along with the
yes,
medical form?
Yes.
Okay.
I encourage that all officers issue notice of intended prosecution to all the persons.
Even if it's a minor infraction?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So everything must go before the court?
No, everything does not have to go before the court. However, what's a minor infraction for you?
Okay. Well, I barely touched the back of somebody. So
Okay.
it doesn't have a big dent, but maybe I might have put a crack in the light.
Okay.
Something like that.
And you said you're gonna deal with it.
I'm gonna fix it ASAP.
And I just accept that, and later down the line, the person is coming back and say, officer, up to now she ain't fixed my vehicle. Now the time that I had to give you that notice have passed. So now that put that person now to have to go to their lawyer to write you, to sue you. When it could have, that case could have started easier from the police end.
Okay.
So, you go to the accident, you always hear people, I'm gonna fix it. And by tomorrow it's a different story, because they go home, they sit down, they talk with somebody about the accident, and the person tell them, hey, why don't fix the person vehicle, you're wrong. You know?
Yeah.
So now you have a change of mind. That's your right. Because you have to seek your advice from whomever you wish. Okay? Just not the police.
Okay.
The police have to be independent. Okay? So I might come and I might give one person a notice of intended prosecution. I go back to the office, review the cameras, review the statements, and I say, hey, but the person who give the notice ain't who wrong. I have to go back and look for the other party now to solve that notice. So that's why we give everyone involved in the accident a notice of intended prosecution.
Oh, so both of us, even if I'm the one that just got hit, right?
Yes.
Okay. All
The
right.
notice is not to say, hey, you're at fault or he's at fault.
Yeah.
If the matter go before the court, the charge on that paper is what whoever is going to be defendant going to be charged for.
Okay.
Also, it would have your information, the vehicle, the time, the date, the area the accident happened, and the signature of the police. So if that matter goes before the court, you have gotten a notice, but you're not the one the police is prosecuting. I'm prosecuting Tom. Tom comes to the court now and Tom says, hey, I don't know nothing about that accident. The police is lying to me. You have that notice with your signature. The police have that notice with your signature. Who's going to be a witness to say, I did witness this accident. I was involved in this accident. And Tom is the one who was in the accident also.
Okay.
So it's a way of having more facts to provide to the court. Okay? Also, you go to the insurance, that's the first thing they ask for, the notice. Because persons surprisingly used to go to the insurance company and claim for accidents that never happened.
Oh, wow, that's, oh boy. Yeah, because it says report the accident to the insurance and obtain
Yes.
accident reports. You can only get the accident report when I show the intent to prosecute?
No.
Okay.
The officers who deal with the accident,
Mhm.
it's their obligation when they complete the accident, they conclude the accident, they have all the information they have for that accident to enter it into our VRS system.
Oh, and it's shared with the insurance company?
No, the insurance company now will request it.
Oh.
So they will have to pay a fine at the back of the police station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, $50, and they come to traffic and they obtain the
Report.
accident report.
Okay.
Okay, so you report the accident, ensure that the police come and record whatever information. If you have knowledge about accidents and you see that the officer did not take a measurement that you wish for him to take, you are also obligated to point out that to him.
Okay.
And he cannot refuse to take that measurement.
Okay.
So if you feel like he's just measuring the road, but you want a measurement to say, hey, I want to know where that person saw me before they came out.
Okay.
So let the person point out to me where they saw me to where they came from.
Okay.
And that officer will go and take that measurement.
Okay.
That might rule in your favor, or it might not. But however, it's a measurement that you wish.
Yeah, because I always
to
wonder
take.
when I see you gentlemen and, well, ladies and gentlemen with the tape, I often wonder, what's that for? Are we measuring how far apart the cars are? What is it all about? But thanks for that explanation. So
Yes, because sometimes, remember, the police are not present at the scene when the accident happened.
Yeah.
But based on their measurements and the information that they record, they can have a more clearer picture, a logical picture
as to what
really
may have happened.
May have
Oh,
happened.
okay.
Yes, and that's why we encourage persons to have their dash cams, utilize the duty free, have the dash cams to assist the police. Sometimes the dash cam might rule in your favor.
Sometimes it may not.
And sometimes it may not.
Okay.
So, sure.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning to everybody, and greetings once more in Jesus' name to everybody.
Good morning.
Now, I would like to ask the officer a question. Yes, I would like to ask the officer a question. Concerning the measurement issue, for example, if I am a driver, I do not know anything about the measurements, what the officer is supposed to measure and what they ain't supposed to measure or whatever. I do not know anything about the measurement issue. So I wouldn't know if the officer failed to measure something, that he failed to measure it because I don't know anything about the measurement issue. So could the officer go a bit into the measurement and what the person involved in the accident should look for, what they should know about, how the officer what he should measure and that sort of stuff? Because I'm totally ignorant of it. I see them measuring, but if they measure something, I would know that they were supposed to measure it. So could the officer go a bit into that? Thank you.
Well, caller, to go into depth with the measurement, it would be a bit contrary because all accidents are different. So when the police arrive on the scene, based on his knowledge, he would know what measurements he think is necessary for him to take to prove his case. All accidents are different. Rear end collisions, sometimes the accidents are more straightforward. You know, if a vehicle is coming out of a junction, it's a different type of measurement. So it all depends, and that's why I say if that person is have the knowledge about measurements and accidents, then they can, point out to the officer what measurements they would like, and that's why we encourage person, hey, when you're involved in accidents, call the insurance, because the insurance will more know what they want to prove their case or to accept if they were really liable for the accident. So it's so for the caller for me to point out educate you about the measurements, it would be lengthy and still contrary to him.
So once, let me see if I could make it a bit more easy. So once we have an accident, measurement should be involved?
Some accidents are straightforward.
Okay.
That may not need it.
Okay.
But we recommend to take as much measurements.
Okay. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, we can't hear you. You're breaking up bad.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you move from the location that you're currently at and maybe call back? Because we're not hearing you. You're breaking up very, very bad.
You're hearing better now?
Yes.
Good morning to you guys.
Morning.
Good morning. Question greatly asked, I think it's an excellent question, but I'm not the wiser. I heard what the officer said. I'm not sure that how much that helps anyone. There must be some basic measurements. The width of the road from the first vehicle, the width of the road from the second vehicle, I don't know. How far the vehicles were, length of tire marks, whatever there may be. And I understand and appreciate measurements may be different because of the type of accident. So I'm hoping that the officer could provide a little more information, please. Thanks a lot.
Well, I guess the most basic measurements that police officers take is once they take in measurements is the width of the road and the length and the width of the vehicles. But as to any other measurements, as I said, it all varies on the type of accident, where the accident happened. So the most basic measurements are the distance between both vehicles, the length and width of both vehicles, and the width of the road. Okay. The distance from the tires to the end of the road, whichever side the officer wish to make reference from. I don't know if that more helps. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think those hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Okay. Just before we go though, I just want to remind the public about the CPL games and the restrictions, because we find we put out notices.
You had to talk?
Had to talk.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Had to talk. I mean, and I don't know if it's just persons working out, hey, I'm gonna take the risk. They just don't know. But I find when you see the places where these people park, you're like, this person have no regards to nobody else trying to use this road. You find person double parking, they have a vehicle here park, and this side might have a little space, and they just want to make sure, hey, if it's 6 feet the car is supposed to be, at least they got 6 feet to go to there. And they have people, trying to squeeze through, and then that may cause an accident. And when that person might have tried to come through now and touch your vehicle, you're going to be vexed with that person now. But you cause an obstruction for them. So, partial road closures are one way, Lozak Road. In general, Loza Code is a one-way.
Okay.
You can only travel from east to west along Loza Code. East Park Range, the traffic can only travel from north to south. So you can only go down the East Park Range. You cannot travel up. When you reach down on East Park Range now, you will not be able to pass NHC unless you have the credentials to pass. There will be a warden there. You will have to exit through between NHC traveling towards Wellington Road.
Yeah.
So you have to travel east.
Yeah.
You cannot travel from east to west along that road. You will be
blocking
restricted.
things.
Yes, you will be restricted.
Can you park on that that same road that you mentioned with NHC, but further up, like you're coming from the top? Because I thought when we had the discussion, you said you were going to ask folks to park inside. But when I came down that road on
inside.
Friday, or are we allowed to park?
NHC?
No, okay, the same road with NHC, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're coming from the top of Bastia High School then, so we're coming down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say maybe I'm coming down to buy tickets. Can I park on that road?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I swore
No,
the officer says we cannot park on this road.
We said we cannot, and and you're realizing it.
Yeah. They had cars going all the way down.
Yeah.
Because Thursday I went to buy my tickets for Friday to get my little discount, and I saw all these cars just like parked there.
But once they have cones in the area, you're not permitted to park between them. If there are no cones,
you can
then
park.
you can
Okay.
park.
All right. Got you.
But on the left hand side when you're coming down that road, there are residents living on that road.
Yeah, as we discussed.
Yes. We don't want anyone to be blocking the driveways of these persons.
Okay.
Even if you do not see a vehicle in the driveway, you don't know if the person is out.
Exactly.
Intending to come back home, you cannot block the driveway because you assume it's an available space for you to park. Do not block the residents. Okay? Do not block the residents. Parking on Lozak Road, the only persons permitted to park on Lozak Road are the residents, and they will have their car passes because the police would have gone to them individually, request their vehicle information and what's not, and given them their car passes.
Okay.
Other than those residents, it's for VIP and government officials.
Okay, got you.
So, Loza Code from Wellington Road to Victoria Road, there no parking is permitted to the general public other than residents.
Okay.
And they would have their car passes.
Okay, no problem.
Victoria Road, you're only permitted to travel north. And you would see the cones even during the day where you're not supposed to be parking on Victoria Road.
Okay.
Between the Bastia High School and Loza Road, restricted.
Okay.
Okay, so that should be a free flow of traffic. Now you can pull off to put out your passengers. But waiting and, there at an extended time, say you're waiting for someone to come out, no, we don't want that.
Okay, gotcha.
Put off, move. Come up, pick up, move. Okay? We encourage persons that can either park in Port Zante, up at Valley Mart area, available space in New Pond side, Beach Island, Playfield,
Yeah.
Areas around town that you are permitted to park on a regular, just not on the yellow lines, double parking on the roads. Okay, so you can still park around in town. There are no restrictions in College Street Gut and stuff like that, how it was for Music Fest. You can park along College Street Gut, but appropriately.
Okay, got you.
Appropriately.
All right.
So, I mean, I think, CPL, the crowd for CPL is much smaller than the Music Fest crowd. But we find persons parking a bit more recklessly.
Yeah, callous about their parking.
Yeah. But however, the towing is way lower than Music Fest, because we call persons and they come immediately.
Okay, no problem.
They come immediately, and we want to encourage persons. If you're parking, for example, there are a lot of empty lots around the area. Now persons bump the curb and they go up and they park on those lots. Now, and there are persons who are going to come and park along that road properly, who are going to be blocking them in. Now, legally, we cannot tow that person's vehicle because they're properly parked along the road. So if you're going to bump the curb to go up and park on an empty lot, unless you're going to have your friend there to park along the road, so when your guys are ready to go out, they can move their vehicle and you come out. We don't want you to do that, because you're going to be calling the police. The police is going to try and assist the person. We're not going to ignore them.
Yeah.
But if you're calling persons that are in the games and they're not answering the phone, we cannot legally just get up and tow their vehicle.
Okay.
Because they're properly parked on the road. So we just want persons to park safely, enjoy the games, and drive safely.
Well, with that said, Constable Bell, thank you as usual for coming in and informing us. I hope everyone grasped what you were delivering this morning. I sure did. And even this morning, I almost parked. I tried to squeeze in, but the yellow was still there. I just said, look, let me move, yes, because I can't be there petitioning for good and then do the same thing. So I found somewhere else to park. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming in. You have a great week. I can't say I hope it's accident-free, because I always get proven wrong.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Carry Festa is connections, community, and unity. It is understanding each other without saying a word. Separated by water, united in purpose. One voice, one story, one song. Carry Festa is we thing. Come for Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carry Festa.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Carry Festa is the whole region looking good, and the whole road is rerun with. It's in the way we walk, it's the way we talk, it's the way we move. We ready for the world, and when we step out and pose just so, it's pure style and fashion. Look away! Come for Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carry Festa.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 90.
Here are your Hotspurs Value Max IGA specials.
Running August 7 to August 28.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Kraft barbecue sauce, just $7.99. Essential everyday vegetable and canola oil, $13.99. Essential everyday fries, just $14.99. Breyers ice cream, $25.99. Egg waffles and pancakes, $15.99. Gain dish detergent, just $8.49. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IG and essential everyday peanut butter, creamy and crunchy, $8.99. IG and essential everyday salad dressing, $9.99. Imperial margarine, $8.99. Nature Valley granola bars, $12.99. Arm & Hammer deodorant, $8.99. Arm & Hammer liquid detergent, $19.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean Land Financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Island Tea, and I wanted to start with our neighbors over there in Nevis. Good morning, Mario, and to everyone else listening in Nevis, good morning, and good morning. So, I saw an article that said, hold on one second. Patrons voiced disappointment over the Culturama 51 experience. But then there's another article where the minister responsible for that area is saying that it went well. So the article reads, I'm just going to pick out certain points. It's on winnfm.com. It says, and for those of you in Nevis, you can tell me different if this is not the case. It said, Culturama, coined as the Caribbean's greatest summer lime, was not so great at all in 2025, according to feedback from scores of revelers and patrons of the festival. It says a wave of negative feedback had been surfacing online and on local talk shows since the festival ended, contrary to the statement delivered by Nevis Minister of Culture Eric Evelyn, who declared Culturama 51 was a resounding success. The organizing committee informed at its launch that Culturama 51 would not have the same grandeur as Culturama 50, but said that patrons could anticipate an enjoyable Culturama product. However, mostly on social media, people expressed that the reality fell far short of expectations. So one of the activities that patrons viewed as a major disappointment was the Culturama 51 Grand Parade. Oh boy. Citing that troops, revelers, and spectators' numbers fell significantly. Way before sunset, the troops had already made their rounds, and I didn't see a lot of people, said a spectator to WinFM. Online, some people spoke about the Culturama Food Fair, saying that it was a disappointment, oh boy, despite being a marquee event on Culturama's calendar annually. The event did not attract the usual bumper crowd. Concerns were raised that food vendors may not have made a profit on their investment for the Culturama Food Fair. It says several social media commenters expressed that significant changes will need to be made, including more exciting activities backed by robust marketing efforts to maintain community support and large attendance in the future. I was wondering when I saw that they said that Culturama 51 would not be as big as Culturama 50. Why was the statement made? And did they know something that maybe everyone else was not aware of? Because we've had 50. I know they say, maybe some folks might say you can't compare because we're bigger or whatever, but once you pass a grand mark, you're supposed to be going up, even though you're getting...
Who made the statement?
Well, it's revelers, patrons, spectators.
That it wouldn't be...
No, they said the organizing committee. Or that statement.
Yeah.
Okay, so the organizing committee informed at its launch that Culturama 51 would not have the same grandeur as Culturama 50. But we've had 50, we're up to what now? This is 54?
So that in itself told you that they felt that there would be a scaling down. So when the minister then says everything well, what do you expect? You expect the minister is going to say, what do they say?
Nobody does.
Fish doesn't come out of hand.
No, or somebody don't say something stink? How does that go? You know you don't say a thing smell bad? I can't remember the saying. Oh.
Hello, caller.
I can't remember the saying at all, but it's like, oh gosh, what is the saying?
Fishermen don't tell you that their fish stinks. That's it.
That's it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the brain doesn't work. Yeah, but you would never call your crop bad, even if it's bad. You
But
always
if-
speak good of it.
But if the people are saying it, that means that it didn't live up to their
It
expectation.
didn't live up. And I'm
Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Quinn.
Yeah,
good morning,
good day.
Hortensia.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm giving thanks for life yourself.
Good, thanks.
There's a ship in the town, Emerald Princess. It was expected to go elsewhere, but because of the pending tropical hurricane, it came our way, so there's a ship in town. The stakeholders, especially on the beach, those on the beach, is a challenge because we're trying to race because some might be promoting the beach and some might say otherwise. The conditions at the beach is not fair, or but
Yeah, one would expect
See that-
because the sea's going to be all churned up. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
people should be.
those are the stakeholders there trying to do some remedial cleanup and so forth and so forth. But Queen Potencia, as I enjoy the rain on Saturday, because Potencia, you did say the rain on Saturday, it was like, seems like it was going to be an all-day thing.
Yeah.
But it subsided.
Yeah.
Yes. And for the life of me, I would say, where are the engineers in St. Kitts? Where are the engineers? Because as I observe, there is a drainage project that is coming all the way from the St. Peter's community, coming down as you come down, and they're trying to also do another road diversion, like across that roundabout that says TDC to go up to the St. Peter's. As you notice, as you come east, there's going to be another kind of lane.
Yeah.
We welcome that, but there's also a drainage. And I'm saying, where are the engineers? Because some engineer should have already suggested to those people who are doing the drain and the overall project to do what I would say a water catchment area. We are crying out for water. We are crying out for water. And here's it. That drainage that they're doing, it will empty out in the gut, and then all of the water, the volume of water will end up in the sea.
Yeah.
The sea water don't want any more water than it has already.
Sure doesn't.
I am saying, where are the engineers to come up with an ingenious plan to do a water catchment just before you reach the gut, and as that reservoir gets full, the rest can be emptied out in the gut. But make sure that we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 gallons of water there for the farmers and for persons who would want to give their animals water. Yeah. Along with, the chucks when you're doing road works, and, the chucks will kind of like wetting the loose dust, and so forth. That is where they will access that water and reserve the potable water that we have there for drinking purposes and other purposes. We don't have any water catchment in St. Kitts. Can't talk for Nevis. But as I observe, we don't have any water catchment. And that would have been such an opportune moment for the engineers to come up with something ingenious to put a water catchment right there Don't tell me it has the space there. It has the space right there to build a tank holding 100, 200 gallons of water or more. Potentia, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the area, Quint, but it's just as you come around the airport fencing and you come down towards that TDC roundabout there.
Yeah, isn't this where the Koi building is?
Pardon me?
Isn't this where the Koi building is?
The what building?
The Koi building.
Koi?
Yeah.
No. We're talking about coming down St. Peter's and you're meeting the first roundabout. You can go across the F.T. Williams, you can go west.
Okay,
or you
okay.
can come down. Or you can come down by the cemetery there, by the governor's house area, that cemetery there.
Yeah.
Yes, or you can come east to meet the airport.
Okay, yeah. I think I know what you're
And
speaking
then
of now.
the drainage is going to empty out in the gut. But there's the space there for the water catchment.
Well, I hope the powers that be are listening and will take the advice that you're
And it's not too late. It's not too late because they're almost there. They're almost there.
Okay.
It is not too late to be innovative now.
Okay.
So they're almost there. Come up with a good plan.
Okay.
Call on one of the engineers and come up with a good blueprint so we can have some water catchment there. Someone said to me, oh, they're building a desalination plant. A desalination plant should be the last resort. Yes, we welcome the desalination plant. But would I want potable water from the rain, from what is falling from the water we are so accustomed to, as opposed to the desalination plant where I'm going to just extract water from the sea? It has its own purpose. But let us not put strain on the desalination plant. Let us not put strain on our scarce resources. Let us conserve water. Let us trap water. Let us get enough water and enough electricity as we can, because we are a growing nation. Water is required. And here is it, the sky has opened up and has given us water, and we're going to allow all that water to go down into the sea to do a desalination plant when we can catch the water before it gets there? Where are the engineers in St. Kitts and Nevis? You folks went to study for these things. I did not go there. You know what? I am a person who learns outside of the classroom. But I take what I've done with a pride for my nation. So when I call upon the authorities that be, I call upon the authorities because when I was growing up, we did have water. But don't tell me 4 generations or 2 generations, all these children here who gonna, need water. Water and food is the staff of life. Water is the purifying factor. It's an element. It's one of the 4 elements that human beings and animals and plant life depend on so much. I am calling for the engineers to come up with a plan. That is one of the water catchment areas that should be, because I can see all the volume that comes from St. Peter's. And don't tell me you're going to stay all that volume down in the gut for the water to end up in the sea. It just does not make any sense. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for your contribution as usual. And as I said, I hope the powers that be is listening.
Let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Hospice Value Mart IGA specials.
Running August 7 to August 28.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Kraft barbecue sauce, just $7.99. Essential everyday vegetable and canola oil, $13.99. Essential everyday fries, just $14.99. Breyers ice cream, $25.99. Egg waffles and pancakes, $15.99. Gain dish detergent, just $8.49. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IG and essential everyday peanut butter, creamy and crunchy, $8.99. IG and essential everyday salad dressing, $9.99. Imperial margarine, $8.99. Nature Valley granola bars, $12.99. Hammer deodorant,
$8.99. Arm & Hammer liquid detergent, $19.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20, win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators. Repairs are fast, easy, and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean land financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and just to go international for a little bit, I see that the EU is sending wildfire help to Spain as death toll rises. We know it's very hot over in those areas, and when these folks get fire, they get fire. I saw a lot of persons in shelters because a lot of their homes have either been consumed or they're in areas that fires would have started. You know, sometimes we make a big fuss about what we have and what we own and this and that, and then something just comes and decides to take it away from us. So that's why I said almost all the time we just need to live humble lives. I continue to pray for those folks over there in Spain and the rest of Europe who are or may be affected. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island Tea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am onto something different, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause see, the world is heading in a direction, and we are not even nearly beginning to prepare. See, we are not real people. It is true. We are a people without an identity. And you know the worst part about the enslavement? It was not the whips. It was the conditioning what was done to our minds. The names, we watched the Roots movie, Kunta Kente, they bang his name out of him. It's no joke. We are not Tom, Peter, Paul, Williams, and Richardson. Those names identify us. It tells us and them who we belong to. Nobody seems to be falling in line. Kwame Ture say, when your people are being oppressed, and when your people are being oppressed, and you make no contributions to end the suffering of your people by your very course of inaction, proves that you are all on. But let me go back. Again, indulge me a minute. When your people are being oppressed and you make no contributions to end the suffering of your people by your very act of inaction, you're against your people. There is no middle ground. He says there is no question here. We got to realize the condition. If the war break out, none of these islands here safe here. We need to go and look and see what's going to happen. They show us how because we don't plant no food. The starvation, the refugee, actually, we probably might be the ones going on them little boat trying to go back to Africa then. And hoping, well, they will accept us. I'm saying this is time of awakening. It's time for us to begin to remember. It's so we're going to be strong again, you know. It's how we're going to survive whatever is to come. We can never survive with this conditioned state of mind. We are not real people. We've been trained, programmed, conditioned that every day we get up and we go on a 9 to 5. We say we are free. The illusion of slavery, of freedom, is what has taken us over. We think we're free to do what? Go work. The brightest of us will only be a doctor or a liar. Nobody gonna produce nothing. Nobody gonna make nothing significant. Everybody only know how to go look at work. Even the banana plant. All us got a fig tree in the yard. We chop off the bottom and throw it away. And you can go in places in the world and see them in supermarkets being sold. We don't know nothing. Everything poison, bad, and dangerous. I'm saying, if we don't decide to wake up and we continue down this road, Marcus Garvey said, a people without knowledge of their self, their heritage, not history. I am saying a people without knowledge of themselves, a people without knowledge of their own heritage, is like a tree without root. Wise man was asked the question. He said, where is the people who built this city? I was told it was built by African people. The wise man answered the traveler saying, they lost their history, and so they died. We are dying. All the politics and all the argument, you and them ain't doing nothing that they are not being paid to do. These people are on not our agenda, but the people to whom they swear allegiance, they must obey them. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you for your observation, caller.
Well,
yeah, but why are we throwing away bananas that could have planted bananas? I remember in the day, and I'm sure you could remember too, Quint, as a young child growing up in Guyana, and two here in St. Kitts for a little while, my dad used to save seeds and replant them.
well, he was speaking about when, when the banana
Yeah, that's
shoots
what I'm
out.
saying.
There's this big thing in the
Yeah.
front. Well, I didn't even know that it could be used as a food until some years ago when I saw someone post that, there were people around the world who were using it as a food. So he's right. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah, and we're cutting out the roots and throwing away. What are we doing?
Even I don't know if it's the yam or tanya leaf that the Trinidadian and Tobagonians they use as a soup. It's one or the other because
Edda
one of
leaf.
them. Huh?
The Edda leaves and I think it's the Tanya.
Yeah, because one of them it will itch up your mouth, but there's another one that is edible. These are things our foreparents
But we don't
knew.
have them here.
You know.
I'm from Ghana, and I could tell you we don't have them. There are multiples in Ghana, and I don't know if it's because Ghana is more muddy and moist, because they thrive in the mud and on the moisture. I have not seen that since I've moved here.
Seen what, Tanya?
The Edda leaf plants.
Oh.
The Tanya plants, I've not seen any of the two.
Yeah, we have Tanya here.
Yeah.
We don't see it as much as we did, but we do have it here still.
I've not seen any.
You know.
But yeah,
Hello. Okay, we lost that. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. You're live in Island Tea.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning to you guys again.
Hey,
I wanted
bro.
to come back in. I'm gonna tell you all something, right? See that caller that just got off? That was more than a comment. That was some truth and reality right there, and some knowledge. You know, he made a couple of statements which I totally agree with him. You heard one of the things what he said? Our leaders, they are obeying the persons and the entities that they pledge allegiance to. You guys already don't know what my mantra is when it comes to stuff like that. I don't even have to mention that to Quint. Quint knows what I'm talking about. But we had some discussion over the weekend, Saturday, on the radio station in Nevis. And Quint, the stuff that we came up with out of that conversation on the 2020 Vision Radio with some hosts, Daly, Daniel, and Tulu, I'm going to tell you what I'm formulating my own thoughts based on our conversation Saturday. And the cryptocurrency that you see going on around the world right now, they're being rejected in China and other countries around the world. And it appears to me that our politicians are going to try to entertain these people. I mean, St. Kitts and Nevis possibly is a dumping ground. We must be the only place where people could come in and trick our politicians and come in with no money. And the term that I've coined recently, based off that bill that passed last week, is battle for the lands. And the persons in the Federation that got the knowledge about Papa Bratcher, they always try to reference him and say he secured the lands. And then there was some input afterwards that Simmons paid for the lands. What does that really mean? We were lucky to get control of our lands coming out of slavery. And then now we are giving the lands back to these rich folks, these rich foreigners. The local people cannot even go to work and make enough money to buy a plot of land for their family. If Bratcher so-called secured the lands and Simmons paid for it, that means we own those lands. If somebody paid for something, they own it. And I'm talking directly to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. If we don't pay attention to what's going on in our own country, we're going to have to kiss St. Kitts and Nevis goodbye. I'm telling you all this. You see that geothermal that's going on in Nevis? The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, they cannot fund it. So anybody who fund that geothermal, they're going to own these two islands because nothing for nothing, something for something. And that law is making the way for these type of things to happen. They want that enclave to come in Nevis and such. But guess what, Quinn? I'm going to reiterate it again. Nothing for nothing, something for something. Any one of those people in the Middle East countries, we already seen the desalination plants are being funded by the Saudis, right? But you think the man is funding things just like this for nothing? When whoever fund that geothermal, they're going to own the lands in St. Kitts and Nevis because when they tie that geothermal resource to that cryptocurrency, it's all over. And I'll leave it there, man. People in Nevis.
Sorry, I thought you had finished. I thought you had finished. But what do I look? When I listen to these things, sometimes I prefer not to get into much rhetoric because what can I say? We see what is happening. We
Excuse
see
me.
what is happening,
Mhm.
but and this is why I keep look. Okay, this morning I heard on the news, I heard Sean making a statement, and then I heard the leader of PAM also making a statement. And I was thinking to myself, it's good to hear that, and I hope that they consistently continue now, because unless the opposition does what the opposition is supposed to do, which is to point out certain things if you're going along a wrong path, to say no. And when I heard Sean, it was refreshing because it reminded me of the old Sean that we knew when he was out in the wilderness on his own before, he eventually got others to come on. And it's sad to see that after all that work, how it wound up.
Yeah.
And I can kind of feel his disillusionment because after putting in all that work to see it falter the way it did.
Yeah.
But I would like to say to Sean, continue because you're still relevant. When I heard him this morning, I felt good because one of the things he pointed out was he said, look, go down on 4th Street now and you realize all of the businesses on 4th Street are owned by external people, So what is happening? What are you doing for our indigenous people?
But I find we don't support our own indigenous people because our own indigenous person could have a shop that we even used to go and take things on credit from. And when these other shops come, we go and we purchase from there and we forget our own. We don't support our own.
But I don't want us to go down that part of, I hear what you're saying, but that's the mom and pop shop. And that basically...
Even other shops that people would have come up that are not even mom and pops.
There are other... Okay, let's look at 4th Street. These individuals didn't go out of business because of lack of support from the locals. They went out of business for 2 reasons. One, price hike in the cost of the building that you're in. You're going to have to be able to pay whatever the cost is. And from the time, see how marketing goes, real estate goes. You could have something for a certain price where the locals can, go and set up residence and do building and that kind of stuff. But from the moment you bring in a sort of a high rise or high value business, the price is going to go up. From the time those Indians started to from the time one of those Indians went into that place there that belongs to Omax, you remember the Omax building? From the time an Indian went in there, it virtually overnight hiked up the price. So from the time the price goes up, you have a problem with local individuals being able to pay that kind of exorbitant. Because here's what's going to happen. You're the Indian. You're going to a building next to me. The value goes up. The local individual next to the Indian, the owner of that building is going to come to me and say, well, as of X and Y and Z at a certain time, the price is going to go up. How am I going to be able to think? This has nothing to do with people coming in and buying from my place. This has to do with a price hike that is just drastic, just overnight, and factor in the business I have in there, my customs when I do import, that kind of stuff, my electricity bill, what I take out of my business to make sure that I can sustain myself, that is drastically changed.
So how is it the foreigners can afford it, but we are not able to afford it?
Remember where the foreigners were, You remember where the foreigners were? You remember where the foreigners were supposed to be? Where were the foreigners supposed to be?
I don't quite grasp that question, to be honest.
The foreigners, the Indians that wound up on 4th Street were supposed to be on Port Zante.
Oh, okay. In that
But
vein, you're
go
talking
down
about.
in Port Zante and what do you see? Most of them are empty.
Because maybe they're not making it down there, so they decided to move somewhere else.
So then this is what I'm getting at. The environment, you see tourism. Someone drew that point this morning. You say tourism is the big thing, but how the place that you put for tourists to go and, shop, what?
Maybe, okay.
So here's what happened with the Indians. The Indians realized that, and they realized this a good while ago, that when we're down here and the tourist season is peaking, we can make some money, but we don't make nowhere near what we thought we would have made, because a lot of the folks who come on the ships, they don't spend the way how,
they should.
You expect
But they're
them
sharing
to.
that money amongst the islands they're going to.
So the Indians realize the price that you're charging us for down here in this venue, we can go up on 4th Street and we can pay considerably less and still ply our business. And then we don't have to worry about when the ships come in or not, because the local people now are going to patronize us all throughout the year. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So if the environment was kept so that tourism was bringing in and the businesses could stay down there, they wouldn't be forced to come and compete with the local individual. And from the time they move there, even though they're paying less there on 4th Street than they paid on, it's still exorbitant to the local man who was on 4th Street. You're following me?
Yeah, I got you. I'm following.
So it's a, what they say, a domino effect thing, where you hit one domino and it hits the others and they fall off.
Because I get what you're saying. Down there was more expensive. 4th Street is not that expensive.
But it's expensive now, and it's going to get very expensive.
It's going to get more because
Yeah.
I know a business establishment that was on 4th Street that now has a ethnic store, Indian store, and that store, I think, was forced to go all the way close to electricity that was in that establishment. And I know a particular caller always talks about them building the extra pieces and taking over the sidewalk. That in that particular building, that's the case. But all I'm saying is, why is it not? How is it they can afford it? And I get the point, it's cheaper than Portante. And maybe they have extra help, but why is it our people can't afford it? And why is it not made affordable for our people?
It's not made affordable in a nutshell. We're almost out of time. It's not made affordable because the government, whose job it is to create an environment that is conducive to business for foreigners and for locals, they're not creating that environment. That's one. Number two, the government is also not creating an environment that makes it easy for locals to be able to venture into business and be successful in business sustainably. Whereas they use this word sustainable environment and sustainable this and sustainable that. Local people need to be able to get the kind of, how do they call it, startup capital. You understand? If you don't get startup capital, how do you get into business? You may have the best idea. A lot of our locals have found out that when you have a good idea and you go to the banks and you say that you want to do so and so, the banks say, well, give us on paper what your business is supposed to be like. And when you do that, next thing you see your business, but it's not your business. You understand? They implement what you put on paper because they have the money. Places like Development Bank and so on and so forth, that is what their job was supposed to be in a position where locals who have good ideas could go and, but what the government does, the government use the Development Bank for things that benefit their agenda as opposed to the people's agenda. So when the caller said that the government is showing allegiance with those who they pled allegiance to, what can we say? Because we have been saying the same thing over and over, and we're not getting anywhere. Our governments aren't listening to us. It's like our governments just don't care about us. Or should we say bluntly, perhaps maybe it is the Labour government? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because why I ask the question if perhaps it is the Labour government, it seems to me sadly the Labour government has always pushed this thing that they are for the masses, for the grassroots. But it seems to me, if you look back at history, it seems to me whenever the Labour government gets in, it beats down the grassroots and the masses. Because just prior to this last, Labour government regime, Fort Street wasn't the way it is. It is. You understand?
I remember 2 stores in particular being there, but I see a couple more has risen up since.
A couple
including
more? A couple more?
A couple more, yeah.
If you, it's like I know I see 1 or 2 local ones there, right?
Yeah,
because
I'm being sarcastic with my couple because there's a new electronic.
From the time you come around the circus there,
everything is
Indian going up.
Yeah, because what used to be Island Hopper is now a Polo store. Next door is them again. Then across from Republic Bank, there's an electronic store. It looks like 2 of them. Then once we continue on, as you said, Omax building, one of them. As we continue just after Omax building, where there's a little place where you go in and buy food from the Jamaicans, there's another one. And then what used to be Skerritt's drugstore is the other. Across from there, where used to be Mick Stokes jewelry store, another.
And when you cross the street and going up
to
by
the gas station,
bakery,
by Amory Bakery, there's another.
So,
What?
And,
That's what I'm saying. What's stopping our folks from investing to
remember, they have the startup capital because they
they work together.
Yeah,
that's the next thing to do.
That's
so we as a people here has to see that and do it. And I saw an article where the leader of the opposition, Ms. Shani Gray Brooks, she was talking about economic diversification other than tourism and the CBI not being the mainstay right now because the revenues are low. And as she mentioned, a lot of people had ideas when it comes to how to make money, but it's like they're not. I've saw many, what do we call them, workshops for persons, but then a lot of people don't want to go on rent, as you rightfully say, because they do it from their house, because they say a storefront costs them more than what they can actually make.
It was cheap on Fort Street before. Could you imagine what the price is going to be now that those Indians have taken over that
Do we have any black businesses on any locally owned businesses on Fort Street?
Yeah, there's one. There's a little
Occasions, the flower.
Yeah,
there's the box, fashion box. That's local, and I think right next to her is local too.
Yeah.
So the 3 in that building right there, they're local with the green doors.
Across from the bakery, Island Bakery is one that is still there, and across from them, there's a little tucked-in place there.
The food.
Yeah, no, not food. They sell electronics and.
That's local. You sure that's not them again? Because Lucky's is right there,
No, that is local because I went in there and I saw and heard local,
Oh, the ice cream place is still local too. Richardson is still local.
But to put it in a nutshell, the locals are being squeezed out. And it's only a matter of time that, that is going to happen. Anyway, we've come to the end of another stint of Island Tea for today, and I'm kind of at a loss for words because when I hear the callers, I kind of feel it, but I don't know what to say because it is up to the incumbent to create something that makes us, the indigenous people, feel like we can thrive and survive, and we're not seeing it, we're not feeling it. I mean, we hear them going to the parliament and they're passing this and passing that, but we're not feeling it. It's not, somehow it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing to benefit us? It's all well for you to go and say you pass so many bills but we the people aren't seeing it. We the people aren't feeling it. We the people are the ones you came on your platforms and you spoke to prior to being in the position that you are now. How is it that now that you are in the position that you are now, You're not doing things that benefit we the people. I'm just asking the question. So as Masood Siddiqui asks in a song, how do you sleep at night?
I wonder how.
You know, I wonder how. You campaign and you people gave you the mandate and you have the mandate and you're in the parliament and we're not feeling it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we end things for today. We're at a loss for words.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running August 7 to August 28.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Kraft barbecue sauce, just $7.99. Essential everyday vegetable and canola oil,